Well, welcome to Pineview Farms. I'm Melanie, my husband Kevin Boldt, and we farm here with our two children, Liam and Adam, and we've been here for 12 years. Our essential belief is that we really want to start connecting people to their food. And so our belief is, what is sustainable for the farmer? What is sustainable for the environment? And how do we live in community with our employees and with our customers and deliver value to them and meaningful work for our staff? Pineview started in 1998. Kevin and I were grain farming with his parents, and I was working off the farm as well, and we started looking for more land to buy to support two families on the farm. Our farm wasn't big enough. So Kevin approached the owner of this yard and said, because he had a quarter section for sale, and we ended up not buying the land and buying this yard, which was equipped with some poultry barns and a small abattoir. And we thought, what the heck, we can butcher chickens in between seeding and haying and harvest. Neither of us had ever butchered chickens before on any scale, but how hard can that be?
And so it was interesting when we bought this farm. It had been out of the farm, out of the family for a number of years. In the 50s it was sold out of the family. And so when we did get the opportunity to buy this farm, we were very excited about it because it was bringing it back into the family.
Yeah, back to our roots. And interestingly, great-grandfather set up all 18 of his children either on a farm of their own, or for the daughters who married and moved away, he provided a home for them as well. And so that's a pretty big legacy for a farm family to come up here and establish themselves and 18 of their kids. But for us as farmers, what really led us to this point is that we realized that the way we were farming as conventional grain and cattle farmers wasn't working for us economically. And we realized that to make our farm sustainable, we had to make a change. And that really led us to transform our whole farm around growing and processing and marketing all natural meat. We don't have 18 kids. All our meat is all natural, so that means it's raised without the use of hormones. There's no antibiotics, no growth promoting medications, no animal byproducts. Our chickens run outside when the weather's good. So that's our brand. It's all natural. And we do chicken, beef, pork, lamb, turkey, duck, rabbit, sausages, deli meats, eggs, and cheese. So we do all the chickens ourselves from start to finish. They're raised here in 2 barns, and we have a processing shop, which we'll show you later. And we work with partner producers, local farmers who also adhere to our all-natural protocol, and they raise the other animals for us, and then we process and market them. So we call it alliances with our partner producers.
When we choose our partner producers, what we look for is someone of like mind. We look for someone who is passionate about what they do and who's a good steward of their farm, of the land, and of the animals they work with. When we go out, what we do is we find someone, first of all, who's interested in working with us. We make contact, and then we go and see their farm. We walk with them through their animals, see what they do, make sure that they're following a protocol that we can agree with and that they're willing to follow our protocol. And we ask the producer when they get set up with us to figure out their cost of production, what it costs for them to raise the animal, feed it, and also when they ask for a price from us, to figure in their margin for themselves as well. It's very important for us that farmers have the opportunity to make a living. We can offer people value for their dollar, but it won't be cheap.
Well, and cheap food comes at a cost. If it's not the consumer paying for it, is it the farmer who doesn't earn any money out of it, or is it the environment through degradation through treat the resources that we have? And so we're trying to find that ground where things are sustainable for the farmer, for the consumer, for the environment, for our employees. So we have the bulk of our customers come from within an hour of Saskatoon, I would say, but we ship all through Saskatchewan to health food stores, better restaurants, and butcher shops throughout Saskatchewan. And, we're just feeling like we're just really getting our momentum now. People are really starting to pay attention to what they eat. And so I think now is the time for farmers and people like us to really say, here we are. Well, our sons participate in the farm. Of course, they're 12 and 9, so work isn't really high on their list of priorities. But our kids help us in the butcher shop. They stock freezers. We're trying to instill a work ethic. And the last couple years, we started a market garden that was Boldt Boys Vegetables. And if they participate in the weeding and the picking and the handling of the vegetables and the selling, then they earn a share of the profits. And so that's our little entrepreneurship project, and to involve our boys. And maybe someday, maybe they want to farm too. Who knows? We started small. For 2 years, selling just out of the butcher shop. And then this last year we started a CSA project, Community Supported Agriculture. And so we have 35 shareholders who have bought a share of the garden, and they'll come out every 2 weeks and pick up a bundle, a bag full of whatever's fresh and whatever's seasonal. And then they're also meat shareholders as well, so they'll get fresh meat, eggs, and cheese along with that. It's a way for the consumer and the farmer to share the risk of growing the food, because usually it's the farmer who bears all that risk. And it's also an opportunity for consumers to connect with their food supply in a more meaningful way. And so it's just a way for people to experience really fresh food and have a hand in learning how it's grown. Even some of them have volunteered to come help us weed, which we're totally excited about. We employ 29 people now, some full-time, some part-time, and that would never have happened any other way. And so it's amazing what you can do when you farm intensively on a small scale. People think it's not possible, but I guess one of our passions is to tell people that actually it is really possible to do this and to make a living.
This is what we believe in, and working with the farmers and helping them understand that this is what we believe in and what they need to do as well, to get out of the animals what they need to live. And also with our customers to say, look, this may be a dollar or two more than you can buy in the grocery store, but at the same time, realize that the farm family that raised these animals are getting a fair price for their product.
Right.
And
that money's going back into your local economy instead of being exported out of the province or overseas. We're creating jobs and meaningful work here at home. And what's the spin-off of that?
Right. It's a matter of farmers and processors being willing to step up and create places where people can buy the food, a place where people can go and they can stop at the butcher, and they can go to the greenhouse, and they can go to the potato farm, and they can
go to the orchard
and get their food and get their groceries and know where food comes from and how it's raised and what goes into it. It's starting to come.
Happen.
What we need to do is generate the momentum, and that part of what we do is exciting, and that part begins to tell us that, well, maybe we weren't totally cracked when we start. There's a few other people coming along with us.
Yeah.
There are a million opportunities out there for agriculture, for food production, for bringing food to consumers.
With the whole rise of the local food movement, 100-mile diet, slow food, and all those kinds of things, what we're doing is gaining credence, and people are starting to go, oh yeah, I get it now. I know why you're doing this.
There's going to be a lot of farms like ours, feeding ourselves. I think it's more than a trend or a fad. I think we're going to realize that food security is important at some point in time, and that people start going out and buying food that's local and wanting to know where their food's been raised and how it's been raised. And over time, that's not going to happen today or tomorrow, but I think that's something that is a great opportunity, and we're just happy that we were fortunate enough to get the timing to be there and recognize it and go with it. So that's why we've pushed the local market. That's why we try and encourage other farmers to do the same. And it's an endless, untapped opportunity at this point, and you don't have to play with the big guys.
We can't.
You can't.
Like Kevin, I don't want to have to get super huge to make a living. I'd like to continue to raise animals the way we have, work in our yard, work in our gardens. We're looking at alternative energy as maybe a new income stream for the farm, or also to offset our carbon footprint. We believe that that's really important. And so I'd like to work at that and see if that's an opportunity for us as farmers. And my goal is to raise my kids, teach them a good work ethic and honesty and integrity. And if we can do that here and get them through university and launch them, I'll be really happy without screwing them up too much.
Yeah, success would be having a role in feeding the province,
Affecting change.
affecting change, and at the same time, having some semblance of a life and having a journey that you can say was pretty good.
I like what he said.
Are you here for a CSA? Okay, great. We'll be right there.